Jesus freak here. The fun part to me of working with retro computers is the challenge of working within their limitations. The last retro computer I got and did anything significant with is right at the perfect level for some of the stuff I do, because I can do a lot of internet stuff with it. I can run emulators on it. You've seen some of my older videos show some classic video games running on it. I can write stuff on it. And basically I can do most of the things I can do on a normal computer outside of, video stuff. And it's right in that sweet spot. But I was debating, the stimulus checks came in and most of us got $1,200 sent to us. And I'm like, I think I'm going to get my retro on again. I debated. At first I was thinking, maybe I get an Apple II GS. That's a computer I really like. I get a keyboard and a mouse for it already. But getting software to it requires a bit of a fandango. And getting the floppy disks I need for it is a bit of a trick because it doesn't take high density disks. And because it is proprietary, if something goes wrong, the parts aren't necessarily going to be easy to come by. Then I thought, what about my idea, what about getting another 5160 IBM XT? Just before I moved, I got rid of one. Of course, that one had some problems. The power supply was a little bit flaky. The hard drive was dead. I had to replace a lot of the guts. It had a 386 upgrade board in it, so it wasn't really an XT. But when I went and tried to utilize that 386 board for anything, it started flaking out. So I said, you know what? No, I'm not going for another XT. Those things they're not much easier to maintain than an Apple computer. What about an AT? What about a 286? That's just a small step up, but with that small step, you're already getting to the point where it's easy to use a lot of hardware that was current up until pretty recent. You can still get monitors for a lot of these computers. I'm using one right now on this computer. That's one. This is a VGA monitor. I could, well, yeah, I had a VGA in my XT, but I had to buy a special one because not all 16-bit VGA cards will work on an 8-bit machine, and I mean, some of them will. I got a specific model, Diamond Speedstar, because I knew it would. But all of them will work on an 18. Just if it's Visa or if it's PCI, it won't work. But if it's ISA, it 100% will work. I wound up saying, you know what? I'm going to look for either a PS2 model 25286 or a 3286. I couldn't find any 25s. The difference is a 25 has a built-in monitor, a 30 doesn't. So I found a decently priced 3286, and I found a matching monitor, the same kind I'd seen someone else use on a Model 30, the lower end Model 30, which has an 8086. So basically, most of the PS2s are proprietary. This one is only semi-proprietary. It has a proprietary floppy drive. It has a proprietary hard drive. And some of the things that used to be proprietary no longer are, like the monitor port. I can plug this into it. It would work fine. Or the keyboard and mouse ports. The plug look familiar? It's a PS2 port. And in fact, this monitor, this mouse, which is made by Weiss, will actually work, I believe, on a PS2. It's anachronistic, but I said, you know, it's an optical mouse. And I couldn't find the proper model. The original mouse for it had some rather funky buttons, and I couldn't find any of those IBM mice. So I said, I'm just going to use whatever I got. But I did find a keyboard, and that's on its way now from Missouri. It's being sent by FedEx. I found it's the correct model, although it's a newer keyboard. There's two differences between the keyboard that would have come with the system and the keyboard I'm getting. The one that would have come with the system has a gray logo, and mine has a blue logo. And the keyboard that would have come with my system was made by IBM, and the one I bought is made by Lexmark. It was probably made on the same production line. Now, I had some specific struggles that I had to deal with when I set up the Pentium. And you might have seen that in the video if you saw that. However, because I have the Pentium, I don't have to worry about the faulty roll as much as I did then. I had USB floppy drives are finicky. They hardly work right. But the floppy drive on that works just fine. And I can download stuff to it. So what do? Upload it to my website and download it that computer, and I make disks off that computer, and I'll use those to set up the other computer that I just bought. Now, I have another piece of hardware that I'm going to use that was originally in my XT. It's an Ethernet card. This is called the Ether Express 816. It's made by Intel. In fact, I think this says it was manufactured in 1993, so a little bit new. It's an excellent card. In fact, it's generally the one that's recommended for using on retro computers. Now, there's a little problem with using Ethernet. I'm tied to the router. I have to be close to the router. You've seen my old router in some of the videos. The router's right in the corner of my bed. So I decided to solve that problem by buying a wireless bridge. Now, there's two major brands that I've seen of wireless bridges, Edimax and Vonix, and I've had history with both. My experience with Vonix is the one I had just would not store anything, any settings I put into it. As such, I said, my bridge has got amnesia. It's got Alzheimer's. But I had an Edimax bridge, and I loaned it to my previous neighbor, and it did the job perfectly for her once I got it set up. Of course, then she lost it. But yeah, no big deal and cheap. So I bought another Edimax bridge. And this one, it's the same idea. I plug it in, I'll set it up with my laptop. The laptop has an Ethernet connection on it. So I'll plug the Ethernet in, and I'll set it up. Then I'll unhook it, and it'll be ready to use. So I'll plug that in, and then I'll plug that into that card. Now, the monitor I bought is a black and white one. And it's got some stickers on it. I could use the lime juice and vodka concoction that I used in a previous video. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go down to Walgreens and buy some Glugon. Because there's a difference between taking off labels that have probably been on there for maybe a couple months at most, to taking off labels that might have been on there for 30 years. We're talking a monitor that was manufactured in 1988 or so, and those stickers have probably been on there since, the first user. So there's a good chance those stickers have been on there for 30 years, and they're well and truly stuck. And it's probably going to be better to take them off with the proper solution. I bought a sound card. It's the exact same model that's in my Pentium. The Sound Blaster Vibra 16X. My experience with it has been good. So I'm going to keep using it. I bought a pair of speakers. The speakers, like the ones that are hooked up to this, are USB powered. Since the computer's too old to have USB ports on it, I bought a charger. I'm going to plug that into the surge strip I'm using. I'm going to plug it into that. I think that's probably the best I can do. They don't look new, except that they have an Amazon logo on. If not for the Amazon logo, you'd think they were out of about 95, 96. So they're a little new. They'll fit. They'll work. The idea of the thing looking kind of, frank together, but it has a period appropriate monitor. It has a model appropriate keyboard. And, it's a Model M, it's a clicky keyboard. I don't think it's exactly the same as, Cherry MX Blue keyboard like this. But Model M's are solid keyboards. I didn't need to buy a Model M. I didn't need to buy a monitor. I have a keyboard working in PS2. I have several monitors working PS2s. I said, I'm going whole hog. I'm gonna have something I haven't had since about '94. Some true blue iron with a matching keyboard and matching monitor. I actually have a picture of myself from a little over 20 years ago. It shows me in front of a school computer. It's probably some variation of the PS2 Model 25. I'm probably using a Model M. And I'm going to set that as a thumbnail. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to put on. I actually ordered a hard drive substitute card. Because the hard drive is proprietary, my plan is I'll just, keep it around. The card I ordered, it's got to come, I think, from New Zealand, so it's probably going to take a while. So I'll limp around on a 20 meg hard drive that's probably about to explode until it comes in. And then I'll install it. It uses compact flash, comes with a 64 meg card. That's enough. It's 286. 64 megs is plenty. Computer of that era is probably, that computer has a 20 meg hard drive, but that's the cheap end. I think a usual 286 had a 30 or 40. The 60, that's good. So now I'm pretty much deciding, what am I going to put on it? No doubt I'm going to put some of the same games I put on that one if they'll run it. Commander Keen 4, Commander Keen 6, Wolfenstein 3D, it only needs a 286. My Polish friend, the one I kept insisting I get some Cabanossi from there. My Polish friend insists, you gotta have Prince of Persia. You gotta have Prince of Persia. So I'm gonna put Prince of Persia. Do I want Windows on there? Probably not. There's only 1 meg of RAM. Windows is gonna run like a pig. I could install 3.0. I could probably even install 3.1. I'm not gonna do it. I might install Gem. I'm not sure what I'm installing DOS. Question is it going to be 3.3? Is it going to be 5? Or is it going to be 7? That's the decision I got to make for that. I got plenty of time. I probably won't have everything I need until, I probably won't have the actual system until about the first or so. But, it doesn't hurt to plan. I got some blank discs. I'll set them up. Random thing, a real good pen for writing on floppy disk labels is a Pigma Micron. Oh yeah, I just I just totally went there. The same pens I use for marketing and a Bible. I use for It's a felt pen. It's perfect for that. I bought 2 10 packs. Verbatim. It's a good brand. I trust it. So I'm just, getting stuff ready, preparing to set up another machine. And when I'm ready to set it up, I'll do some more videos. Jesus freak out.